But
I honestly don't know if that could have been timed worse.
I think
But so Ray, you're throwing in your hat into the ring, saying a hot dog.
hot dog
is
is
a
a
sandwich.
sandwich.
That's
Is it a
fucking
sandwich or
crazy.
is it a taco?
I don't. It is a taco.
Is
That's
a taco a sandwich?
Guys,
Or is it separate?
we can't
No,
settle this
that's why-
debate.
I don't know, man. I don't know.
We don't have the degrees.
Listen, all I know at the
Yeah.
end of the day is I love bread.
I do. Yeah.
I do love me some carbohydrates.
Yeah.
That's
Bread,
Give
meat,
me
and
some
cheese.
with that.
I love
starchy
corn.
sugar, baby.
It's
I got
got
a
the
question.
juice.
No,
It's got the juice.
What's the difference between a hot dog and a sausage?
If you can
Seasoning.
eat it secretly in the
Seasoning.
fridge without heating it,
Yeah.
when you're 6 years old, then it's a hot dog.
That's a hot dog.
If you don't get
And
horrible
the
E.
saddest
coli.
thing said today.
As a kid, I loved raw.
Well,
hot
we've all
dogs.
done it. Yeah.
Now,
You sneak a little line of ketchup on it. Yeah.
Oh
like-
no! Something about that gross film that left on your mouth when you're eating
Yep.
a raw hot dog.
Yeah,
I just
that was-
loved it.
That was good. Yeah. Back when you were 6 or 7.
I
that was
just
good.
did what
The
any
height.
regular human would be, and I would
You-
get a bowl full of water and put it in the microwave for like.
No,
a
at 2 in the
minute.
morning you can't turn on the microwave.
You can't turn on the microwave.
My kitchen had a door.
The fuck is
Oh,
wrong?
why were
with
you up at 2 in the
people?
morning at 6 years old?
Because I'm just craving a hot dog. Out of the
You
That's how
get
Aaron
cravings
learned.
sometimes, You know.
That's how he learned how to use scissors, because those packages would be close. He's like, how do I?
That's also how he
First
learned
he
to
used a knife.
reseal packages.
Yeah,
He,
yeah.
couldn't, he literally couldn't run because he didn't want to wake anyone up. So that's why he just learned how to
Aaron
not
wasn't
run
talking about chewing the hot dog.
No, that's, you have to chew it.
Okay,
Like a duck.
okay,
Or else you
okay,
have to cut
okay.
the film.
Yeah, we found
He's
it.
not eating it like a duck.
Speaking of chewing hot dogs,
Welcome to the casual ones.
that's not what I was gonna say. But
This is a hot
Yeah.
dog based drink.
Oh, fuck. You guys are the
maybe,
worst.
maybe you should take
I
over.
love you. Yeah, I guess. Hi, everyone. If you're just tuning in, you're nowhere near as
sorry.
disappointed as I am. No. Hi, everybody. We're the Casual Ones. Welcome to our Thursday Dungeons and Dragons live stream. Aaron, you need to fuck off.
Didn't say anything, man. I don't know.
If you've never seen any of our content before, we're a group of friends that very much enjoy playing tabletop RPGs, you know, D&D, played Monster in the Week, Cyberpunk. We got a whole bunch of stuff going on. And this is our ongoing campaign. It's actually our second campaign. If you missed any of the first episodes, I can now extremely confidently say they're all up on YouTube. All of them. Every single one. You need to go catch up. By golly, go look at that.
Nice. I'm gonna watch it right now.
Which episode are we on right now?
This is 22.
That's exciting.
Yeah. But yeah, and other than that, well, we'll talk more about the other stuff that we do down the road because, quite frankly, we got a lot to get into today. So we're going to go ahead and dive right in. Just a quick recap on last episode because it's been a couple weeks. After discovering that Silas had been taken from the Starfall Coliseum by his father, you made a pursuit through the streets of Kor, eventually with Grub turning invisible and sort of smuggling his way onto the carriage that Silas was within. And following them inside, Grub, you discovered that Silas had been locked away in the dungeon. You were able to wake him up, and after a short conversation, found out that you were in fact not alone, because Silas's father, Mason Summerward, had been, I don't know, potentially lying in wait or listening. You're not really sure. Luckily, you were able to quickly turn invisible and sneak away, whereupon you found actually keys to the various cells that had been left behind by some kind of a careless guard. You went back and spoke to Silas. You offered to break him out, to which he declined because he wanted to have more of a conversation with Pop Pop. So you gave him the key to his cell and returned, and actually snuck your way out and returned to the others, where Charlie was sitting in a tree watching Mason beat up a metal dummy and getting real excited about it. And Zelmuth and Lux, you had made your way over to Zelmuth's father's estate, the Peacebreaker estate. And upon speaking with your father, Zelmuth, you were able to glean slightly more information than you had previously, but not really all that much. Basically, he said, "Hey, son, you got this. Here's a clue that I already gave you. GG."
No re.
Yeah, GG, no re, exactly. And after returning back, you all sort of met up again. Well, most of you, all of you except for Silas. And as you were making your... Well, sorry, you then requested an audience with Mason Summer Ward, which was scheduled for tomorrow because, quite frankly, it's like past midnight and, you know, people got to sleep around here. However, as you went to go leave and go back to the inn, you were stopped by some individuals in owl masks. And that's where we pick up today. So, as you had all turned and started making your way back, an individual had kind of stepped up to you. Charlie, you had been the first to notice that there were a few individuals sort of scattered around the road that you'd be taking to get back to the inn. And they all seem to be wearing these owl masks. The individual in front of you is a fairly well-built, it seems to be, individual. He's wearing, or they're wearing, a mask that is all black with white tips on the ends and some white coloring around the mouth as well. Just kind of seeing what's going on in the moonlight and kind of inspecting the mask, you can see it seems to be like slightly reflective in some way. You're not quite sure what material it's made out of, but it does seem to be reflecting light. And as you're looking around at the others, you can see that all of them seem to be wearing fairly dark clothing. Most of them wearing like deep blacks or even muted blacks. But they all seem to be wearing owl masks. But at a glance, you notice that there's one individual who's fairly large. You can see the handle to what can only be a greatsword on his back, standing some 7.5 feet tall, wearing a mask that looks to be made of some kind of like granite or stone. You see another individual who, even around the owl mask, which covers most of the face, but you can still see this individual's neck, there seems to be like almost like a soft green coming out in some areas. You can see like this dark hair that's pulled back into a ponytail. And their mask seems to be made of wood. But as the individual up front, they're standing they're not too far back, probably about 10 feet. They're all sort of walking up, not in any hostile manner from what you can tell at least. But the individual up front, Lux, you recognize as being a member of a group that you haven't spoken with in some time. And he looks at you and he says, "All right, Lux, it's good to see you again."
I'm going to do like a little bow. Good morning, Plots. How have you been?
Things have been all right. How have things been with you?
I can't really complain, for the most part.
Sure.
These are my friends. The little one there is Grub.
Hi.
Charlie, and Zelmith here.
Hello.
Nice to meet a lot of you. My name is Plots. Over here, and he points to the individual with the wooden mask and the ponytail. He says, "That's T," and big guy over my shoulder there, that's Breaker. Don't mean any harm. Just wanted to speak to our friend here, but Lux, can we trust them?
Yes, you can.
Okay. Hey, T, give us some cover. And you see that the wooden masked individual, you hear some muttering. And as she kind of looks up, you all look up and you see this like layer of fog start to come down. And it settles over top of you. A weird thing that you're noticing, though, is that although, the individuals, so, Grub, Charlie, Zelmith, you're a little bit further back from Lux, like 5 feet or so. Although you can't see out of the fog at all at this point, it just seems to be you're surrounded by this white swirling mist. You can very clearly see the three individuals. Almost as if there's like nothing really blocking your view. And he says, "Well, that should buy us hopefully a few minutes to speak. What are you doing back, Lux? I thought you were gonna go I don't know, explore? I know you were running off with Zelmith here, but
it wasn't my choice to come back. We have a friend, and he is in trouble.
you're talking about the summer ward boy, I'm guessing.
Aye.
All right. Well, that's unfortunate. And you see, he reaches up and he pulls off his mask, and you see that he looks to be an air genasi. You can see that he has very light gray hair that's somewhat short, but is kind of like moving slightly, almost as if there's a breeze. And he has like this very light blue coloration of his skin, which stands out very starkly against the black robes he's wearing. You notice that he has like a belt on. He seems to have like a side pouch, but no weapons on him, no armor at all. And you see the other two do the same. The one that he referred to as T, the one with the wooden mask, she takes off the mask, and you can see, for those who would be familiar, you can see an Eladrin woman who has a very dark brown hair that's, I says, pulled up into a ponytail. You can see soft brown skin, and you can see, although she's wearing these like dark clothing, there's like this bright green that's sort of like sticking out, almost like parts of leaves coming out from underneath the shirt itself. And then you see the big guy, referred to as Breaker, takes off his mask, and you can see a Goliath. Like I said, about 7.5 feet tall, and he smiles politely at you all and nods. Doesn't seem to say much else, but he immediately just turns and starts looking out into the fog. And then just stays that way until you see him reach into a pocket. He pulls out like just a little mouse. And he just says, and actually, does anybody have a passive perception, higher than 15? Okay.
Perception?
Yeah. So, Charlie and Lux, you hear, hey, just, let me know if anything's coming. And he puts the mouse on the ground. You see the mouse just scurries off. And he says, all right, well, you looking for work, or?
Well, we've come to barter, if we can.
With the Summer Wards?
Yes. We're trying to get Silas back from his father, and well, you know the Summer Wards, they won't bow to anybody.
That's true. Do you need help breaking him out? I feel like this would be something that's pretty common for you. This shouldn't be difficult.
We don't want to put too much attention on us. He is a man that loves secrets, and we were kind of hoping to provide him with one to let the Summer Ward boy out.
Lux, you've run harder jobs than this. Just go in there and get him out. What are you worried about?
Yeah, I would prefer not to do that. We don't want to burn any bridges.
So what are you looking for then?
We're looking to see if you have some sort of secret that Mason wouldn't know.
You want something from me? I mean, if I can help, I will, but nothing really that comes to mind. I'm sorry, I'm real confused. I don't know why you don't want to just... Lux, we've lifted stuff off people like this all the time. Let's just go get them. If we need to get him out, let's just get him out.
Yeah, he doesn't want to come out.
And you think a trade's going to help with that?
It's complicated. I'm sure you know there's something brewing within the Summer Ward home. something bigger than Mason and Silas. They want Silas for a reason, and we also need to know if Mason is kind of behind this, or if it's somebody else within the Summer Ward home.
I mean, I could probably try to find out. It might take some time though. I don't have anything off the cuff for you, but I mean, your family, if you need help, will help.
I appreciate that. If I had my way, we would Silas would already be out, but we just don't want to make any ripples. Of course, we also have Selmith's family. We don't want to. They know Silas is running with us, so we don't want any rifts between families.
That's fair. Yeah, I guess we can. It's kind of tough. We're just looking for a secret. That's not a lot to go off of, Lux.
I mean, any help will do. But Selmith here was the one that that wanted to call you. So I'm going to turn to Selmith. Do you have any ideas?
Hi.
So, I don't know why he's being vague, so I'm just going to tell you what's up.
Sure.
I almost called you Elhorn. That's how long it's been. Wow. Nope, that's a different character that I know. Lux. Anyways, Lux was being a little coy. We are looking for the Summerwood boy's mother. Do you happen to know where she is?
Honestly, everything that I knew, he didn't. One sec. There we go.
I am also rolling insight, no matter what he says.
Sure. Yeah, he says. Everything that I knew, there was just the one. I mean, there used to be the two of them, but then I think Mason sent Silas off or something. I'm not sure.
I'll roll insight first.
Yeah, roll insight.
Please be good. That's pretty good. 24.
24? It's, from what you can tell, it seems like he's being level with you. He does seem guarded talking to you, but he doesn't seem like he's outright lying about anything.
So, Mason is current lord of the Summerwood home, but it seems his grandfather has weird other plans. I don't know if it's specifically for our friend, but he's alive and he attacked Silas with some monsters and thugs, and we came here specifically to look for Silas's mother, and we're hoping Mason will help, but we need leverage, whether that's a secret or a boon or anything, but we don't even know what he needs. We've been in town for like maybe 30 hours.
Sorry, so just so I understand, you're saying that Xavier Summerwood is back?
I don't even know if he left, honestly.
Oh, he left.
I just know
he was exiled. He was exiled.
I mean,
years ago.
I mean, he was told to leave.
Yes.
And he might have made it look like he left, but I don't know if he's in town. I just know that he is involved somehow. Spoiler alert. God, I hope Silas isn't upset that I told you all of this.
Well, if he wanted to be upset, he should have left. That is actually pretty concerning. How well versed are you all in the history of what happened here during what was nearly a civil war?
I'm quite knowledgeable on it. I studied a lot of it when I was a kid.
Well, maybe this will be something that they didn't teach, because I haven't seen it written down in a book anywhere, but your friend's grandfather was a bloodthirsty individual. he was pushing pretty hard and doing some unsavory things to a lot of people. You know, poor people getting murdered in the streets. A lot of the guard that he had set up in his house guard had been responsible for that. He was pushing the king at the time to, you know, always bring the hammer down on the citizens and, you know, force them under your rule. And from what I understand, he was, I don't know, there was something wrong with that one.
Yeah, I get cult vibes from him, if I'm being honest. Like, he's dealing with weird monster-like creatures.
I wouldn't
and
put
those
it past
usually
him.
don't. Yeah, those don't really come from just, you know, outside of Cole. Like, this was a straight-up, part of my language, fucking monster that tried to kidnap our friend.
That's not good. If he's back, then that's going to cause a real problem. Sorry, I know we didn't really introduce ourselves well. Do they know, Lux, about the Parliament, what we do, any...
No, they don't.
Zelmuth is just shaking his head like, no, he's definitely never told us.
Well, Zelmuth, you must know some, but either way...
I mean, I know of you, but he's been a little hush-hush on what you are all about.
Fair. I mean, usually it's relieving individuals such as yourself from...
Well, I know more than I thought I did. Okay.
just from some of the things that you might not need. You know, a lot of families, well, a few families in this city have far more than a lot of the other families tend to.
Tell me about it.
Interesting. Okay. Well, yeah, we take, and you know, I don't want to say we disperse it, but we look out for ours and our own, and those who help us.
Have you stolen from the Peacebreakers?
Oh,
That'd be it.
yeah.
Yes, I love to hear it. Keep up the good work.
Thanks.
Just don't let my father find out or you'll all die.
No.
For sure.
No.
Yeah.
But yeah, so, you know, we deal with break-ins, robberies, general thievery, smuggling. You know, we have our hands in a lot of pies. But it's been a long time since Lux has been with us. You still keeping to some of the old ways or what?
From time to time. I mostly give to the poor now.
No. Guess that's noble? I don't know. So you need your friend back. Xavier might be back in town.
We just really need Mason on our side so that he can be genuinely honest about what he knows so that we can figure out how Xavier is connected to Silas's mother. Because there's no way it's not connected, right?
Probably.
His elven mother, I don't know if you know I think his mom was an elf.
Yeah, I'm aware.
Tight.
I was young at the time, but around that time is when I really started keeping tabs on the who's who in Core and the families.
They were barely who's who, so I'm surprised you knew.
Well, when
guess
someone
you,
was that close to the king, you know the king and, you know, known associates and things like that, so.
Yes.
Had to
They were
keep up
just
with the others.
More small fish back then, that's all I was saying.
I have sorry, just a really quick question. Is that actually a Goblin Wizard?
I mean, yes, but they are definitely separate. He is a goblin,
Nope.
and that is a wizard costume.
Not a goblin.
Oh.
Just a wizard.
Sorry, Grub.
Nope.
They're not
My
stupid.
name's Wizard.
No,
Okay.
Lux introduced you as Grub. You don't have to
No,
lie to
that's-
me. It's
That's the other one.
I just
It's
point
just
to
easier to
someone
play
else.
along. honestly.
make a deception check for me.
Wait,
Never.
who are you pointing at when?
Just anyone else.
10. It's strange, but okay.
Yes, that is a wizard, and a gnome or a halfling. One I can't remember what he was.
Sure. And like he like looks over at his companion. She's just like,
Anyways, you have any leverage we can use on Mason? Not against him, just for him.
we don't really blackmail all that much, to be honest.
Do you know who people who do?
I can't tell if you're joking.
I mean, besides I already went to my father and he's
Oh.
not going to help.
Well then, no. You could try one of the other great houses if you really want, but
Nah, maybe we'll just be honest. It feels like something we haven't tried yet.
I thought Lux was very honest with your father, telling him everything about us.
No, that was me. Definitely me, because I left. Anyways, let's not get too tied up in the details.
You had a book, remember, Charlie? Remember that,
Yeah, because Lux.
remember how much damage that book did? Yep.
Yeah, I remember.
All right, we don't have to rehash everything.
This happened today.
Anyways,
It's been an eventful day
super
then,
nice
hasn't
to
it?
meet you, Plots. Did I say that right?
yep.
I'm usually pretty bad with names, so I was just double checking. It turns out you were a great help because we sort of came to our own conclusion by speaking to you. So, thanks for being Lux's friend. Does anybody need anything from these people before we decide to go to bed and try to figure out what the hell we're doing tomorrow?
Are you guys secretly birds?
No, I would have killed them all already.
That's what I was asking, because you were really restrained, and I was really proud of you.
It's just an inside joke.
I've got to ask you, Grub. Are you actually a good fighter, or?
You want me to respond to that, or are you talking to Grub?
Wizard. His name is Wizard.
Yeah, just because you noticed the hat and the robes. And is this a day since we did the fighting bit, or this can't be the same day?
It's the same day. You guys haven't slept yet.
It's like 3 hours ago.
Yeah.
I'll just point the wand as well. Obviously, I'm a wizard. So.
You just kind of see me
I
like
move it because that's actually a magical weapon that could kill people. So I'm just like, don't point that at people unless you need to help them.
Yeah, I'm just kind of cringing, like fuck me.
He's a good fighter.
So, Lux, you've made some interesting friends.
You could say that.
Yeah. Breaker, how we looking? You see the Goliath turns over, he says. Probably a guard check, 2 minutes. Okay, well, we got 2 minutes to be clear. I guess sorry we couldn't help more, but, yeah, I feel like you gotta figure your stuff out, Lux. You guys don't really seem to have anything to go on. No offense, but you're looking for a secret, but you don't know what secret, and you're trying to talk to people, but you don't know who to talk to, and
You couldn't figure it out either. I don't know what
you're a goblin dressed as a wizard who
You're a
absolutely
thing
doesn't
dressed as
have.
a bird. What is? You know these people.
Oh, so you
Lux?
are a goblin. Nice.
Just saying what I'm
Anyways.
seeing.
Plots, if you happen to hear anything about Silas's grandfather or about, his mother, I don't have a lot of money, but I could probably help you, like, rob my dad or something. I don't know.
Now that's
That was
something
probably
I'll
a
keep in
horrible
mind.
suggestion.
No, I like that.
That was
That's
the
good.
whole. Okay. Well,
Sure.
maybe we forget I said that. just a
See
little
what I can find out. And you hear 60 seconds. Okay. Well, it's been fun. Lux, you know where to find us if you need us. Legend, you can take them. I'll go my own way. And you see T. I just said what she was. He's like, T, you can take Breaker. I'll find my way back. Okay. And you see she walks over, puts a hand on Breaker, and then just like there's like a couple quick flashes, and then just they're gone. And he says, Lux, don't be a stranger. You see, he walks over to where the tree was, and you can see there's a slight shadow being cast from the tree, and he jumps into it. And then you see the fog slowly starts to lift.
That was... I really have to get... I swear I'm good at talking to people, guys. I don't know what's happening. This place.
Well, that was pretty unproductive.
Yeah, you know those people, Lux, they suck. So sorry. Kind of explained some stuff, but
That was
He just-
not nice.
yeah, I know
He
they
just-
were very rude.
I mean, about Lux specifically. They were not nice people in particular, but,
Yeah.
you know, Lux is cool.
He doesn't trust you. To be fair, he doesn't trust me at the moment.
Who cares? Just a guy dressed as a bird is nothing. Couldn't even figure out that we wanted to figure out what's going on in the house. Doesn't know what that means. That's crazy.
That big guy could have taken Silas by himself if he really wanted to.
You can get him.
Anyway,
Well, you seem like you have strong friends. They seem adept at what they do.
Yeah, do they turn into like frog monsters too?
that is a trick they have never showed me, if that is possible.
Cool.
Anyway, let's just go back to the end. We'll think about it, and we'll come up with something.
I think we just be honest with the Mason. Just tell him what's going on.
What is it? What is going on?
Well, I'm hoping he will be frank with us when I'm honest, but we're basically saying we've come back to look for his ex-wife.
Mm.
I know Silas won't be thrilled about it, but he has to know about his father. I can't imagine a world where he doesn't know. Why would he, basically ground his son like that?
Yeah. Okay.
I don't know much about summer words, so
Is there a way that I could think back on all the stuff that's happened today and think is Mason doing this out of protection of his son, or like when we were talking to him at the door, was he feel like he's hiding more than just this is my son and I'll do what I want. I'll do what I want.
You got a roll for brain blast?
Roll just a general
Yeah.
intelligence check for me.
That's
I'll
a brain
roll for
blast, right?
That's a
there.
brain blast. Damn straight.
19.
19.
Blast pretty good.
You kind of think back into what had happened today. And it's hard to say, you were trying to read Mason when you were over at the house, and he's hard to catch a read on, not because he's guarded. There's a difference between when you're speaking with your father, who's very well guarded in what information he lets slip, and he's very good at, controlling his facial expressions and body language and all this kind of stuff that that he's studied and he's tried to pass off to you. When you talk to Mason, it is like talking to stone. You feel confident that you could tell him that he's now the king of Kor, or you could tell him that his son and wife and newborn children were all brutally murdered, and his reaction would probably be near the same. He doesn't emote well. He doesn't, from anything you've ever seen.
Yes, a very opposite side of the spectrum guarded.
Exactly. And it's not even that he's necessarily guarded. It's just that he is. He just
that's
is.
him.
Yeah.
He is the stone.
Yeah. Mason is Mason, and that's all you kind of get. Your father, you would know, he doesn't have to deal with Mason all that much. Mason provides the, you would know, provides the training basically for any type of guard that exists in this city. The Summer Wards are one of the great houses. They train the Royal Guard and the military, and that's all Mason. That's what Mason worked, as far as his ass off to achieve.
The little that Zelmuth would have heard about over the years, would he be considered like a pretty honest, straightforward kind of man?
Yes. And your father would say, like, to his own detriment, yes. Like,
Okay.
it's
That's helpful
to
for whatever
him,
kind of
lying's a
person
waste of time.
Tight.
Yeah.
Yeah. I honestly, this is to the group now. I honestly think we just have to be honest with him. Silas won't like it, but this is to help his mother, so I think in the long run, he will learn to understand. I'm just so used to talking to my father, so I talk in circles just naturally. But from what I remember about Mason, he is quite literally the opposite of my father.
If you think that's the best course of action, then that's what we'll say.
I mean,
It's
I'm up for
definitely
different ideas, but
Well, we've got our keys, and
You have keys?
Yep.
he stole keys to the.
Yeah, you each have
Yeah.
one, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah. The key to the cells.
One
To
of the
a
cells.
cell. Let's
To
be
a
clear.
cell. That is
they're-
important.
They're keys. They open things. So we got keys, and we know where Silas is. So if we want to get him, we can get him. But he didn't want to come out, so
We'll leave him be.
we'll leave him.
I assume we're having this conversation while walking back to
walkie-talkie.
the
Yeah.
walkie-talkie. All right, well, I think maybe we should just get some sleep, and maybe we can discuss this over breakfast. But I feel like just being honest with him is probably our best shot.
Okay.
Do you want me when we're in there? I can sneak in instead and rifle through his stuff while we're talking and learn some stuff. Well, like
If you get caught, all the honest work we're going to do is going to go straight out the window.
I'll look like someone else. I guess I can. I got some other plans, other ideas. I can turn them into something different.
How about just this once we try it my way?
I'm going to
Okay.
look at Zelmuth. That has never worked.
I'm just like looking Grub in the eye, and I'm like metagaming, rolling a persuasion check. Like, don't do this. You know, but like, let's try it our way, my way, and you are very good at what you do, and I'm sure you'll find a way.
But let me do it. I'm good at the sneaking, good at the stealing,
I know.
good at the
I
stabbing,
know.
and we're
I don't
not
think
doing
we
that
need
tomorrow.
I don't want to waste it all on the Summerwood home. We might need it later. And
But
I
you want
tip top of the game.
you want me to talk instead?
Sure. Yes, I want you to talk instead, as honestly as you can.
This is like Lux and doors and
Yes, locks and stuff. I know.
yeah. This is if I'm a tool, you're not using me right. Is what I'm saying.
I know, but what I'm saying is I'm just storing you away for a special occasion.
Okay.
I swear I am
You're
good
the
at those.
You're the
You're a
secret
special
weapon,
tool.
Grub.
Secret
I could
weapon is
be,
much
I
better
could
than
be
what
a
I said.
secret weapon. You could turn me invisible, and I go in there, rifle through some stuff, steal whatever he's got.
We don't want to turn the secret weapon on yet. We want to save.
But what if he
it.
never knows we used a secret weapon?
Then it's
You don't want
still
him
a
to know.
secret.
That's what I'm good at. Okay, well, think about sleep on it.
Yes, let's sleep on it.
Sleep
Yeah,
on
that
it.
sounds like a great idea.
I just go over to someone. It's like, don't turn him invisible.
I can't honestly. No, I won't. He's very for a man who says he's not good at talking. He is aggressively persuasive. That's all I'm saying. But I won't do it. Does anyone need anything before I go upstairs? I do have some money, but I'm not made of it anymore.
No, I just need to get some sleep.
Okay.
Yep.
Good night.
Good night.
And with that, you all end up going to sleep, and you gain the benefit of a long rest.
Nice.
Shortest session ever. Thanks for tuning in, everybody.
I get my wand back.
Silas, you wake up dead.
Oh
Nice.
Heart
The
attack.
important thing is, though, you woke up.
no. Yep. Can't go to sleep.
Okay. So a new morning comes about. You guys are all currently spending time in your rooms, I guess, to start the morning. But unless there's anything you guys would like to do, we can always jump right on over to Super Happy Fun Time.
Yeah, maybe we'll walk and talk on the way back, and
Okay, is everybody ready?
yep, I got all my goods.
We're gonna not do plan secret weapon.
Don't break his heart.
Do we all agree on that?
Yes.
Hands up if you don't want to do plan secret weapon. Sorry, Grub. Silas would definitely vote for you, but he's not here.
The wrong guy got stolen.
You know what? That doesn't really hurt at all, surprisingly. So let's go.
Okay. So after grabbing a quick bite to eat, some breakfast, some coffee, this time though, sadly you notice a lack of eggs.
Ridiculous.
Pour one out for Silas. Pour an egg out specifically.
Pour an egg up for Silas.
Crack one out.
Crack an egg on the ground.
Crack one out for you,
It was a
boy.
lack of eggs. How could we crack it?
Yeah,
If
it's
you
true.
guys want to do
Only
it the
'cause no
proper
one has.
respectful way, you got to use one hand.
Yeah, it's true. It's the only way to crack a real egg.
Just crush it.
Speaking of eggs, Grub.
Yeah.
As you guys are walking over to the Summer Ward estate, you feel some jostling inside the pocket where you keep that egg.
I check on it right away.
As you pull it out carefully, you can hear a little like, and you can see the egg starts to slowly break.
And it's a dinosaur.
And you see this like very pink, very small hatchling, a bird of some kind, breaking its way out of the egg that you have.
I just I'm a little bit excited, but I very desperately need to hide this from Zelmith. And I just letting it do its thing, be extra gentle and quiet, and trying to walk so I don't disturb it.
Yes, I'm a bird killer. We get it.
And
Did I notice Grub being weird?
Well, I was going to say, Grub, if you're trying to hide this from anybody, I will give you the option to use either sleight of hand or stealth. Your choice.
Okay. Sure. What do I get here? 13?
13. Okay. I feel like probably just about anybody. Yep. Yeah, you guys all notice Grub's being a little weird this morning. And he's fiddling with his wizard's robes.
Yeah.
You heard me.
I have it open and I'm looking into it occasionally.
Is everything all right, Grub?
Yep. Just thinking on the plan.
Sure. You are a deep thinker.
Mm-hmm.
A
Think
lover
about what
of
I'm going to
books.
talk about, how we're going to... Yep.
I hope that your plan leads to you not talking. That would probably be
Jesus Christ.
That would be opposite of our plan. We talked about it.
I
We
mean,
already
I'm
talked about
probably
it.
going to do a lion's share of the talking, but I hope you chime in at least a little bit. But
Mm-hmm.
Deep breaths.
I mean, you can't stop him from talking. It's just you have to encourage him to say the right things. Is at best.
Yeah, no,
I'm not going to put a muzzle on him. We're not monsters.
listen, I'm just here for the ride.
Well, speaking of ride,
Before you guys get there,
damn.
Silas, you wake up. You're sore. You know, you feel like you were ragdolled across an arena floor that's made of marble.
So I feel like reality. Okay.
Yep.
All right.
But you're awake, and as you kind of wake up, rub some of the sleep out of your eyes and look around, you notice your father is standing outside your cell, not looking at you. Feels like more pointedly looking away. But as you kind of rouse and begin to wake up, he does turn and look towards you, and he says, "Morning."
I can't tell from down here.
Yes, that's fair. Would you like some breakfast?
Oh, have you changed your policies? Prisoners are allowed to eat now.
I was considering letting you out, if you're willing to talk. If all you're going to do, however, is provide more attitude, you're welcome to remain.
I momentarily clenched the sword behind my back. And then I just dismiss it.
Okay.
We haven't talked in almost 10 years.
I'm aware.
You're actually willing to speak with me. No bullshit, no excuses.
No bullshit. No excuses. An actual conversation. And I will do my
Insight
best.
check.
Sure. Totally fair. Go for it.
Yeah. 13.
13. You can tell he's genuine. But you also catch like worry. You catch worry in his voice as well. And almost in the way he's standing. You know, he's not your father is very big on, maintaining eye contact, squaring up, looking at somebody when speaking. He is not doing that with you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I do. That's kind of what I pick up on, I think, specifically, is the fact that there's no eye contact. I stand up, brush myself off, favoring one of my arms. What's for breakfast?
Let's find out. And he unlocks the cell door, swings it open, and then begins walking down the hall to go upstairs and towards the dining room.
And I walk 3 paces behind him at all times,
Okay.
keeping him squarely in my line of sight.
Yeah, no problem. As you make your way through, it's an odd thing walking through a home you haven't been in for a decade. There's a lot of things which, unsurprising to you, are exactly the same because things were efficient, and that's what your father seems to care about. But you also notice that there are nicer pieces of furniture in some places that hadn't been there previously. You notice when you walk into the dining room that there's like a very large, like lush carpet that the dining table itself sort of sits upon. That in and of itself is surprising to you because with the wooden chairs, you know that it doesn't slide easy. It can't slide easy on that carpet from what you're seeing. And that's wasted time. And it's strange. And you look at some of like the art that's on the walls, which had never really used to have been there either. And you see these huge oil paintings that must be some 6 feet by 10 feet. Like just huge pieces that are mounted on the wall.
Out of curiosity.
Like a landscape.
Okay, I was just going to ask if there was like a common theme among them. Yeah, okay.
No, it's just from everything that you can tell, it's just beautiful art. And you notice quickly that like this room does not reflect what you knew of your father.
Recall that he had been sick for some time, and that's why I had been called initially back to Core. Just kind of ponder for a moment of whether or not that did something to him. You've done some renovating, it seems.
There's been, I don't know if you've heard of many of the changes that have been made to our house. We're now counted among the great houses.
I did hear Zelmuth mention that, and I couldn't account for it.
Yes, we had effectively the hard work, I suppose, that I had put in, and the training that had been done, and proving myself with the soldiers that I had helped. They decided that the Adrene family was no longer to be in charge of the Corps and Cornet Guard and the military, and they wanted me to lead it instead. So we were given the status of Great House. The Adrenes left. I believe they went to another continent or something of that sort. Rightfully, they were upset. They were a proud bunch of Dragonborns, but it all rests on me and our family's name now, which is more than my father ever could have done with it. So
I'm actually impressed.
thank you.
The Edrins could not have been happy, nor could they have gone peacefully. Was there any conflict?
There was no conflict, no fighting, nothing of that sort. It was decreed by the king, so they had to take it for what it was or face the wrath of all the great houses, and no one wants to fight that battle, so... And frankly, the guard and military that I had trained was stronger than what they could have acquired anyway. So there was little worry and little threat of something like that taking place. You're muted. Your mic's gone. You're still muted. I think your mic went out.
How's that?
There you go. You're good.
Hey! You don't appear to be happy about the appointment.
I'm not unhappy. Not about the appointment. In truth, some of the things you said to me yesterday are both confusing and difficult for me to hear. Here, please sit. Let's have something to eat and allow me to explain.
And yeah, I'm guardedly pull out the chair. I cannot recall a single time in my life that my father has asked me to sit with him for breakfast.
Yep.
So 2 chairs down kind of thing. No?
Yeah, no, that's fair. And he sits at the head of the table as he always does. And he says, Silas, I know you know me to be a proud man. So I hope you understand what it means when I say that I am sorry. I am sorry because the anger that I took out on you was not deserved by you. There are several things in this world that have angered me, and all those years ago, I can confidently say that I did not handle it well, and I treated you unfairly. So first off, I apologize. You spoke of your mother. From what you said, it sounds like you believe her to still be alive. This is possibly the truth. I will be honest. More honest than I have been when you were a child, and maybe that was wrong of me, I don't know. Frankly, I didn't know what to do, and I told you a lie.
You had my ears ground down to make me look human. You didn't just lie, you disfigured me.
I did.
I didn't even know my heritage until a month ago.
I did what I thought was right because your mother had abandoned us. I woke up one morning to a letter after she had left in the middle of the night, and she was gone, saying that she was not to come back. So yes, I hid your heritage from you. Again, looking back, perhaps not a good choice on my part, but that's why it had been done. I did
You
not
need
know
to-
where she went. I did not know why she left. She just said that she was leaving and I would not see her again.
How important was the position that Mother had here that me being known as her son had me in some sort of danger?
It didn't have you in danger, not as far as I knew. But what I was worried of was you going off in search of her, trying to find where she had gone, and something happening. I did not
We've
want
kinda
to
come full
lose.
circle, haven't we?
Yes. Yes, we have.
Let's say for the moment that I will take your apology under advisement and assume that you tried to make the best choice you could. Can't believe I'm saying those words out loud. What do you know of the Order of Ardea?
I've never heard of such a thing.
Insight check on that.
Sure.
'Cause how has Dad not heard about it when I've heard about it? 2.
Your dad is, it's like talking to a wall sometimes. It's unreadable.
The reason why I call him Stone under his breath. The Order of Ardea is apparently, they consider themselves to be the keepers of the true history. After the calamity, they say that the true history has been hidden and that we've been offered essentially a plate of lies over the last 1,000 years, and that there is another calamity coming, and that Mother apparently was a part of this, that she's one of these keepers of the true history, and that there are actors out there that don't want this truth, such as it may be, to be out in the world. All I know is that I was told my mother is alive and that she's being kept by the Summer Wards. And as far as I know, that means you. But I was down in the dungeon. I saw nobody but me.
That all seems far-fetched. Where did you get this information from?
A woman had spoken to me. I had received a letter when you were ill some months back to come home to speak to you, and that basically you had dropped the pendant that you had kept from Mom in your illness, and that was mailed to me. And I was asked to come home. As for the name, I believe her name was Karleth. Alarian Karleth.
I don't recognize the name.
I didn't either, but this woman found me in Athleto, spoke directly of Mother, gave me all of this about the true history. Big old air quotes. But beyond that, I that's about the only information I had, and I set off to come rescue Mother from the summer wards.
Also, just a really quick note. Revival is the period you're talking about.
The revival. Sorry, thank you.
That's okay.
My
No
notes are
worries.
impossible to read.
All good. And you haven't been able to make contact with this individual, or you have? In Cole?
I was given a sending stone to speak with her, but unfortunately we were waylaid by thieves some time ago.
Mike's gone again. Welcome back.
Can you hear me? Okay, what was the last thing you got?
Thieves some time
Thieves.
ago?
Yeah, that's all I said. Yep.
That is worrying for several reasons, but I don't quite. And then you see somebody walks in, and you can see it's one of the many people that work for your father in his house, and says, "Sir, my apologies. There are guests here to meet with you." He says, Silas, your friends are here. Are you okay if they join us for breakfast, or would you like me to have them wait?
You will likely need more eggs. At this point, Stone, I actually have friends. And anything that you say to me can be said to them.
I'm
Just-
fine with that.
Watch out for the one in the wizard robes. Just maybe not the good silverware. That's if you're concerned.
Okay.
You'll see what I mean.
Right. Okay, well then, have them sent in. And you see the individual leaves. And a few moments later, Grub, Charlie, Zelmuth, Lux, you walk into... Zelmuth, you would say, is a very nice dining room, actually. Nice paintings on the wall. The whole place itself is like mostly made of stone, which is a little odd. A lot of people... but like nice lush carpets, like very comfortable chairs, padded, cushioned, like nice chandelier above the table and everything too.
I know that's a Magaroth.
That dude does everything.
He did everything.
And you see, as you guys walk in, Mason actually stands up and he says, welcome, friends of Silas. My name is Mason Summerward. Welcome to my home. Please have a seat, and if you'd like some breakfast, more food is being prepared and being brought out.
Silas,
I make eyes to Zelmuth right away, like I don't know what's going on.
you're not grounded anymore. Awesome. This is going to be much easier.
But do you see these bruises?
I mean,
I do
you have a
regret.
punchable face.
Purple.
I didn't think I hit him that hard. It's my apologies.
I walk over to Silas and I'll use Hand of Healing to fix his battered face.
So cold. How much do I heal?
Did you actually miss it?
You're at max hit points. Stop breeding.
You had a long rest, homie?
Your
did I-
bruise is gone, okay?
Did I qualify as having a long rest?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
All right, I just wanted to make sure.
No, you're at 1 hit point.
What are you doing? Staying up all night doing push-ups? Come on now.
Yeah, exactly. There's only so much you can do in that 10 by 10 room.
I just figured I was like still laying in Broken Doll stage.
Well, I'm not sure what you two have spoken of. Oh, thank you. As the plates come. I was going to tell your father everything in hopes that he would help us figure out your situation.
Oh, the Order of Ardea, trying to find his mother.
Definitely.
Yeah, caught up.
We've spoken
about
this.
about your dad.
I'm sorry, what?
Yeah, your dad and the Shadow Frog.
Yeah, you don't know about your
Oh,
Silas's grandfather definitely tried to kidnap Silas.
was that not you trying to bring me back? The bandits and the
Frog monster.
frog monster?
Yeah, it's a frog monster. There's no getting around it.
I entirely.
Son, you should know me far better than that. If I wanted to come get you, I would just send the
That's-
people I trained.
Why I was taken aback, but they worked with your efficiency.
That's what I was telling everyone. Doesn't make any sense. You're going home. Why would he steal you to go home if you're already going home? Doesn't make any sense.
This wizard is correct.
Thank you.
I couldn't. I tried so hard, I just couldn't. If my father is indeed involved, that is very worrying. He was, I don't know how many of you are familiar with Core, obviously Peacebreaker Boy, I know you.
Hi.
But my father was a bloodthirsty individual and caused the deaths of probably several thousand people before eventually the old king was, well, he disappeared, let's say, and unanimously a new one was elected, and when that king left, my father was exiled and I was told to take over the home at a fairly young age, but duty is as it will.
Yeah, sounds tough.
Silas, if you think that you and I have had a strained relationship, let's just say a lot of the scars you see on my body weren't from fighting elsewhere. He is far worse than I have ever been. In my eyes, obviously, that's for you to decide if and when you meet him. I hope you don't, but that's why I never spoke of him. We did not get along.
Can't imagine what that's like. Not getting along with your father. Must have been tough.
Because of you two.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So where's Gramps? If we need to get him, do we need to get him? Is he got your mom?
That's what I'm feeling like. That's my guess.
Honestly, he was opposed to our union from the very start, so I didn't think he would ever. Well, frankly, I would have figured if anything, he would have just had somebody killed. That was kind of that's what he was known for. Well, tortured and killed, but either way, if she's alive, then that's something different entirely.
And she must have been poorly treated all this time. If this man is as much of a sadist as you paint him.
It's possible, if she still lives.
Sorry, not to be rude, but when was the last time you saw Silas's mom? Just so we have a reference of timeline here.
God, maybe. Silas, how old are you again?
Like, what, 24?
So maybe some 20 years ago.
Cool, so she just like left one day, or she was like, this is very personal, I shouldn't
This
be
is
asking
very,
this, I'm
it is personal,
I'm very
yes.
sorry. I'm
That's
very
okay.
sorry.
Yes, she left. I woke up one morning to a letter.
That she wrote. You're sure of it?
As far as I could tell, that was her handwriting.
And you just trusted it. Yep.
Well, given what I've offered about Mother's associations and what you know of your father, what possible use could he have? Why was he opposed to your union to begin with?
He wasn't very fond of the elves, frankly, in general.
Sadist and a racist. Okay.
He was all sorts of bad.
Does he live in town?
He was exiled. He can hold no house or station in this nation.
That doesn't
Here's a
stop a
question.
man from gaining power, though.
Did he Sorry, I just wanted to know if he had any long-standing friendships before he was exiled with any of the other houses that he might.
Not with any of the current houses. That the group of them that had banded together, they were all forced to leave. And frankly, with the information, that I gather through my guards who patrol the country, and presumably, your father, Peacebreaker, would gather through his network, we would know if he was back. I'm sure the king would have been made aware. We would have been preparing or looking into it or something.
My father is not very giving when it comes to information, so if I'm being honest with you, I think he's known already for a while about my grandfather. Didn't hear it from me.
Fair.
Just because even when I went to ask him for his help with coming to talk with you, he sort of implied that he didn't imply, he should have told me that there's other Summer Ward members that could have done this, and heavily implied that it was your father. I didn't give that information to him, he gave it to me.
I see. That is also concerning for a number of reasons. Considering your father runs the spy network for the kingdom.
Oh shit, I'm in trouble.
Well, I didn't hear it from you. Don't worry, I'm a fantastic liar.
Honestly, I'm more worried about the spies that have already heard most of this conversation.
Well, I wouldn't be too concerned.
Well, I'll take your word for it.
I bring out my old hand-drawn map, trying to shuffle towards Saz's dad. And whereabouts is Gramps on there?
Where would he be if he was within the country? A summer home, perhaps. Other lodgings.
Yeah, we're here. I just tapped to the marks that is core
Question
on this
DM
map.
too before you answer that. I remember rolling like an Arcana check or a History check about the monster. Did we get an association? I'll roll an Intelligence check if it wasn't true. Do we know what that monster was like related to, like a lower planes or particular god?
Well, we did get a message from people that had a crest. Was that just the Summer Ward crest?
Yes. Yeah, it was the old version of the Summer Ward crest.
Right. Okay.
That's right.
So
like
are
an
you looking
outdated
for, like, the
version,
School of
basically.
Magic on that or something? Or Prickly Spring?
I checked for magic. I don't think there was any on it.
No.
I just was trying to remember if there's an association with that frog monster to any particular god, because gods are very involved all of a sudden.
So the
when they
other
weren't
piece that
before.
you knew is that there was the markings on the robes that those individuals were wearing was related to Relnir.
Relnir.
Yes.
Summerwood.
Yes.
Maybe you don't know his specific location, but have you heard? Oh, maybe I should ask my father about this too. Any relations to Relnir? I think your father's related to that god, unfortunately. That's why I think he's got some cult vibes to him.
I suppose it's possible. I know he was very fond of Adar, who you guys would all know to be the god of war and blood. But I wouldn't have said he was a particularly holy person or anything of that nature. I don't know what's happened in the 20 years since I've seen him.
I just wanted to know if you had any rumblings of such a name on the streets with your gods or anything of that sort, or any symbols or anything related to it in that regard?
I can look into it. Nothing that comes to mind. I don't know. Mjolnir's god of darkness.
Yeah. Not one of the good ones.
No.
And so on this map, you don't know. Big circle, little circle, you got no idea.
I've been told no reports of my father returning.
You know what direction they took when they left? Or... You got nothing. Just kind of
It
looked
was
at
20
everyone.
years
Okay,
ago.
that's okay. That's okay. We have nothing either, so.
This was a really good amount of time. Silas, are you allowed to leave?
Like, still in the middle of stuffing my face, like, gesture at the plate, like.
Okay, but after.
I just have a couple of questions for Mason, if that's okay, and then we can leave when
Certainly.
he's done his 3 plates. Unless you have any questions, Charlie, Lux, I don't mean to hog the spotlight here conversationally. I just am trying to get to the bottom of this and I can't seem to figure out where to start, and I was hoping to ask for Mason's help.
Kind of seems like we need to know about his mom, about the thingy that Silas said, maybe about the dad. Oh.
You guys, all the glasses and the chandeliers and the table starts to rattle as you hear this like noise.
Choking my eggs.
Earthquake?
What's that?
Explosion?
It didn't sound like an explosion. And then you see he's kind of looking around, and then again you hear like
Is everything all right?
where's that coming from?
Can we tell where it's coming from?
Make a perception
It's
check.
just stuff like shaking.
Yeah,
or
like things are
please.
shaking.
like a heavy thing moving, or
Yeah. Like the glasses, the chandelier, like the walls, like everything's rattling as this noise is going on.
I'm focused on something in my robe.
12 for me.
17 for me.
8.
Okay.
Busy stuffing his
Charlie
face
and
full of
Lux,
eggs.
it feels like it's the ground. Like the ground itself is what's shaking. It doesn't sound like anything is coming from like above at all. It seems to be either ground level or lower. And as you're all kind of like waiting and looking around, you hear like a and then through the floor of the dining room, coming up underneath the table and sending the table flying, crashing. Your chairs are all scattered. You're thrown in like all opposite directions. You see what can only be described as this like lump and cluster of like roots and mud just come bursting up under the ground and then comes and lands flat. And you can see it's just like this roiling mass, some like 20 feet tall. And immediately you see Mason steps back, holds his hand out. Half second goes by. You see the stone greatsword appear in his hand, stretched out at full length. And he looks at you and he says, "Out now!" And I'm going to need everybody to roll initiative.
Mm-hmm. Oh, so close to
We
something.
ain't leaving, Pops. We in it for the long haul. I mean, Zelmuth might leave, but
There it is.
The royal we 7.
nice. You too busy trying to fold up that big map of yours?
Well, when everything started rattling, I got pretty focused on something in my robes, and I was just.
Oh, you got something to protect now.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
All right.
Baby bird, go squish.
Oh boy. Please. Give me 1 sec here. Okay, 25 to 20. 20 to 50.
21.
Okay. I took away my typing space. 20 to 15.
19.
Okay. All right. Guess 1 by 1.
15 to 10.
Yeah, 14.
Nice.
And what was the other one, sorry? Or someone else?
Both of us were 14.
Which one's, I'm assuming that's Charlie's faster.
I have 16 decks.
Yeah, I thought so. If you're a monk and you're not fast, you have problems.
Oh, man,
9
I
to
have no
5?
skills.
Yeah, 7.
7? Okay.
I guess I should open up Tailspire. I forgot to do that.
This is a theater of the mind combat. You will not need Tailspire.
All right. Well, good news because it's updating.
Okay, perfect. All right, Zelmith.
Oh no!
Just so
it's
you're
me, I
all aware,
forgot.
you were all thrown about 10 feet back. You didn't suffer any damage. However, you are all currently prone. The only one that did not fall prone was Mason. So, Zelmith, you're first. You see this monster takes up like a 10 by 10 foot square or so. And it's just this roiling, like no mouth. There's one singular eye that sort of like pops up and out of it. But it's just like this dirt and grass and mud, but mainly roots. Just all of these seemingly living tree roots. And you can see that even where its feet are planted, there are still like roots connected like down into the hole that it came from. What would you like to do?
Tight. I don't really have anything to attack people with.
You have a bow.
I'm more of a... Yeah, you're right. I do have a bow. I'm going to bonus action. Healing, no. Bonus action Bardic Inspiration. Basically, I'll inspire Mason and be like, as I'm getting up, nope, we're not going anywhere. We're going to be right here. And then I will use my action to, I guess, just fire my short bow.
Okay. Go ahead and make it attack.
God, I think this is like the first moment. It's almost like, if I'm going to stick around with these people, I should probably be able to do damage to things. That's 23.
23 hits.
That's a whopping 4 damage.
Okay.
And then I'll use half my movement to back the hell up.
Okay.
Can I tell if it took full damage or if it was reduced in any way?
Make a perception check.
It is a magical longbow, I will remind them.
I know.
6. Just my blood curse. I don't know how to use it otherwise. So
No, it's fine. It seems like it took normal damage, as far as you can tell.
all right. Cool.
All right, that ends your turn, Zelmith.
That ends my turn.
Okay, Lux, you're up.
Quick question: does it seem like it's still growing from the floor?
Not really. It's like
Okay.
10 feet wide and like 20 feet tall. It seems good.
Okay.
Where it is.
Two more questions. Is there anybody that's closer to me other than Zelmith, and is there any other doors behind me?
No, I would say probably Zelmith is the closest to you, and I don't think anybody was sitting necessarily on the other side from where you sat down at the table. It depends if you sat, so where you had entered in, like you walk in from the side and there's the table that's like long ways this way. So either you were on the wall side or the door side. It's up to you where you were sitting.
Probably wall side.
Okay. Then, yeah, you're basically up against a wall at this point.
And there's
Near
nobody
two.
else beside me but Zelmith.
Zel. Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to get up, move my way close to Zelmith, and if he can hear me, I'm going to say, "It's time to go." And I will take out a short bow and shoot at the creature.
Okay.
That was a 1? That's bullshit. Miss.
Okay.
That's it for me.
No problem. That ends your go, which means we are now over to Charlie.
So I've heard we're not going and let's go.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Yeah. Your forte, clear communications.
Mm-hmm.
So I get up. Yeah, I don't know what the consensus is at this point, but I do see a thing in front of me. So I will, step up and I will unarmed strike.
Okay. Go for it. Go ahead and roll your attack.
So first one was 11.
Miss.
Second one was a 23.
23 hits.
For 8, and I'll use a key for hand to harm.
Okay.
And 6 necrotic damage.
6 necrotic. Okay.
And I'll use a. For my bonus action, it'll be a single strike.
Okay. Go for it.
That's a 15.
15 misses. Yep. You're able to hit. You take the first swing, and you're like, it's literally like punching an old oak tree. It just kind of bounces off. The second one, you're kind of able to find a little bit more purchase. And you weirdly connect with like the mud, and it's kind of gross as you like kind of take your fist back out of it. You go for the third strike again. You're just there's so much roots. Finding a way in between and hitting whatever this mud-like substance is between the roots is just proving to be difficult. But you do see like some of the necrosis is like this like black like veininess is kind of taking over some of the roots where you struck it with the hand of harm.
Okay.
But as that ends your turn, Silas, you're up.
Oh, in case it does matter, I did poison it.
Poison? Okay.
Okay. So if I'm correct, I was not given any of my armaments back.
No.
Okay. So I pick myself back up off the floor and summon my longsword to my hand with my bonus action.
Okay.
Holding it two-handed.
As you do, by the way, you do see that your dad kind of like half looks over at you, and you can see like a small smile creep across his face.
I clocked it when he did that as well, and I moved to basically try to get beside Mason and like lower myself into a fighting stance and take a swing at the tree.
Okay, go ahead and roll an attack.
That is 26.
26 hits.
Yeah. I also I can only wield this one-handed because this is the rapier and not the longsword.
Got it.
But
appreciate the honesty.
Will be 7 damage.
7. Okay.
And I'll go ahead again.
Yep.
I don't think a 12 will do it.
12 will not do it, unfortunately.
And just try it like. What is this?
Some damn fuckery.
I'm stabbing the tree here, but but also like asking. This is directed at Mason. Like, what is this?
And as it rolls over to Mason's turn, he kind of looks at you, and he says, "I don't know what this is, but you need to go." And you see he takes a swing at it with his great sword. Well, he takes 2, 3. He takes 3 swings. Only one of them, unfortunately, seems to connect.
Well,
so you see,
he went.
Oh, bye, Ray. Guess he was tired of his dad.
His dad told him to leave.
Yeah, he's got to get out of here.
He listened, my man. But for everybody else, you see Mason, like as he grabs the stone sword, which like as you're watching, the fact that he pulled this out of kind of thin air is kind of surprising in and of itself. But the fact that he's wielding it one-handed when he first grabs it, like it's like watching like the forks balance in a physics picture. Like it doesn't make any sense to you. The fact that his arm is fully outstretched and this sword has to weigh at least a few hundred, or probably a couple hundred pounds at the very least, is like mind-boggling.
Yeah.
But he brings it over.
Yeah, it's some anime shit.
Yeah, and he grabs it in 2 hands. See, he makes 3 quick swings at it, but like even this large stone sword is like bouncing off of these living roots. One of them does seem to find purchase, and you can see he makes like a bit of like a dent in it, but otherwise nothing. And we might have lost our boy for a little bit, so fair warning there. Grupp, it has come around to your turn.
Yeah, I get up to my feet, and I'm just dropping the pouch to the side, like against the wall or whatever, where we got thrown to. I just pack the pouch against the wall so it's nice and good, close that up. And And then I'm going to use the wand of magic missiles.
Okay, go for it. How many?
You
Gatling gun it again?
No, because it didn't go well. So, gotta
Does
try.
it fully recharge?
No, I rolled a d6 and I got 6.
Oh, nice.
So got them all back because it's d6 plus 1. And,
Mhm.
Yeah, 8 minutes to go in the game log if you don't believe me. I actually got a good roll, so there's proof this time.
That's true. We do need that. We need to
Yeah.
clock that for the Guinness World Record or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah, so I'm just going to use 2 for now. Shooting it at the whole thing, the whole freaky thing.
Do it.
I don't know if clicking it actually works. Doesn't do anything. Oh,
Dear,
is it doing something?
could
Oh,
you-
you're unmuted.
From that
You're the opposite.
You're Berkeley.
It's
You
okay,
muted
buddy.
the other
Oh,
way.
that
You're still
hurt.
doing
That
it.
breaks my
You're
heart.
still.
It's okay, buddy.
I know that I'm talking to
Well, we
you.
didn't know now. It's like it's hard, right?
Wrong way. Okay, give me 1 second here. I don't really know. I think D&D Beyond doesn't work with the magic missile wand.
Let's roll the dice, homie.
Yeah, it's you have to roll hit. I hit the button and all the charges are gone, but nothing rolled. So my dice might not be working. I'm not sure if you guys see it. Let me
If you
roll here.
like more charges were used than you wanted to, or
One does
Um,
3 missiles, 2 charges does 4.
Wait, you saw it roll?
No, he just knows. We just know how many d4s you'd have to roll.
No, I can read it. It's just I clicked it and they're all gone now. They've used all the charges.
I can't see any of your rolls personally.
Okay. So I'm not sure if something's bugging. Maybe the whole internet's having a little wiggly wig.
You wanna-
I just rolled 2d4 though. So it's 5 plus 1 for each. So 7 total.
You shoot 4 missiles though if you're using 2 charges. That's what we're saying.
Well, it's
The first charge is 3 missiles.
oh yes. Yeah, the way it's written here just says 1d4 plus 1. Very, very cool. And then 2 charges.
Gotcha.
But yeah, so the next 2 then as well will be 5 more damage plus 1 on each.
Okay.
So 7 on that one.
Perfect.
And that's those. Again, can I tell if it resisted that damage? So I can
As far
use
as you're
my
seeing, like
reaction on
as
it.
you see the 4 missiles like impact into it, you can see that there's like almost like a scorch mark sort of on the roots where it had hit. You can see some of the mud that was like impacted as well. Kind of like had gotten blown and like scattered away, and now there's like weird mud patches throughout the room, but it doesn't seem to have been anything like negative.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just trying to use my whole kit.
Yeah.
And,
You're a wizard. You got to use all your
yeah,
wizard stuff.
Got to use all of it.
Yeah.
But then I don't have bonus action, so that's it for me.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. It is the monster's turn. He looks towards you, Silas, as you had just stabbed
looks okay.
Yeah.
Well,
how
it
does that-
has one eye, like one
Oh,
central
it has
eye.
an eye.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
does
yeah.
it?
Yeah.
Oh,
So
then
it
it can be killed.
turns
Okay.
and it looks directly at you. And oh boy, 21 hit.
Yeah. What if I say no?
I'd just look at your character sheet probably because I don't believe you.
All right. Well, because I'm an
Yes,
honest
sir.
guy, I'll say yes, it hits.
Okay.
was it affected by the poison that I put on it?
Didn't seem to be, no.
Oh, rude.
And I can't roll that many times, so let me just get.
I don't like hearing that.
But then that is a question. If it is resistant or immune to the poison, that's what my reaction can do. So maybe I can remove that with my curse of exposure.
So just to the poison?
To any damage as a reaction, if I can tell that it is resisted or immune, I can remove that till the start of its next turn. This lasts until the end of the target's next turn.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, in this case, it is immune to poison damage from the looks of it, as it had no
Okay.
effect.
Okay. I can next time it's applied, then I can try and remove that. No, I think it works, but I do have to hurt myself to do it. But that's fine.
Okay. So what you end up seeing is the creature itself, like almost like in a central area on what could be loosely described as like its chest, or at least its center mass. You can see a bunch of roots, like root tips are roiling, and then they shoot out forward.
And at the last second, I'm going to remember my reaction and use shield.
You don't have your armor on, so what does it bring your AC to? Because your armor and weapons were removed.
Oh, okay. So, I mean, that's useless then.
Okay.
I was under the impression that I was still in my armor, so that would have brought me only to an 18. So I bring it up as a reaction anyway, but...
Fair.
Yeah.
And it goes shooting at you, and like the amount of roots that are coming are too numerous to count, and time seems to slow almost as you very clearly see something that is going to do horrible and awful things to you. And as it does, Lux, you feel an odd sensation in your pocket. And as you sort of reach down, you notice a coin. Do you reach down and touch it?
Oh, definitely.
Okay. As you touch...
lucky coin.
We'll see. As you touch the coin, you kind of look around yourself and at your surroundings, and you notice that everything is frozen. Everything is stopped. You know, you're seeing all these like roiling roots flying towards Silas that are very clearly like more than like there's more roots than there is Silas. Like it's gonna hit him and then some. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And you can see maybe for the first time a little bit of fear in Silas's eyes. And as you look around at everybody, you know, everybody seems poised and ready to fight. And then you look at Mason. And Mason is looking not at the monster, but he's looking at Silas. With a look of like genuine concern on his face. And then you notice there's an individual standing beside you. You see the same cloaked man that you had seen on a floating island some weeks ago. And he kind of looks over at you and he says, "Listen, we don't have a lot of time. You're all pulling on a very specific thread. And I don't know how that's going to go. Like I said before, that's interesting to me, but you have to make a choice. Because I think your friend is going to die. And I need to know if you want to change that."
Yeah. Yes, I do.
Okay. Then watch closely. And as he says that, you have the coin in one hand, and you don't really remember necessarily grabbing it or really pulling it out of your pocket. You touched it, but you weren't holding it. Now you are. And as you're holding this coin and you're looking out, you can see threads. An impossible amount of threads. Each going from person to person, going from people like out the door, down the hallways. Like just like hundreds, thousands, hundreds of thousands, millions. Just all of these little threads that are going all over the place. All of this like lightish blue color. But then some of them are darker. And you know some are red and some are yellow. And they're all different. And you can't make heads or tails of it. And like the more you're watching, the more of these threads keep appearing, keep appearing. And he says, "Okay, relax. And as he says that, you start to only notice threads coming from you. And he says, the fun thing about being the god of luck is the possibility. A little bit of luck can go a really long way. So what we're going to do is this. And he reaches down and he touches a thread that connects from you to Silas. And you can see that as he touches that thread, you see one that shoots from Silas to Mason. And the thread that goes from you to Silas is like this, almost like a dull yellow. But it's like slightly glowing. And you see the thread that goes from Silas to Mason is red, like a deep red, a dark red. And then it starts getting darker and darker. And it starts changing into like a black color. And he looks at you and he says, "And you're sure?"
Yes.
Okay. Good luck. And then he's gone. Time resumes. Silas, as you're watching these roots come flying forward at you, you feel an arm that hasn't actually touched you, you've realized, in over 10 years. And has protected you, you felt maybe never. But you feel an arm wrap around the side of you and pull you backwards. And as it does, you see Mason steps forward and puts his stone sword out with two hands. And you can see it impacts more towards the left. And you can see him catch it. And he's shaking. And he starts to grit his teeth and push back. And then you see the lurch from whatever this thing is. And you just see the roots break through the sword. The sword shatters. And you see the roots hit his arm. And you hear a sickening as his arm is torn off his body. And he crashes back into you. And you both go back 20 feet, slam against the wall. You kind of bracing his fall, but he's a big guy. And he throws a lot of weight around. You take 5 points.
Where are the guards? Yeah.
You take 5 points of bludgeoning damage. And as you think to yourself, you realize it's been 6 seconds. And calm the fuck down.
Oh, I know. That's exactly what Silas was thinking. It's just...
Yeah. And as you're sitting there, Mason looks over his shoulder. You see he's got one arm just holding on to what's left of his arm. And he says, "I told you to go. So go."
I can't. You're very heavy. I just push.
And he kind
as
of
much
moves
as I
off
can.
of you.
I give him a look. We're not finished, you and I. And I look at everybody, and let's go.
Okay. Zell, it technically comes around to your turn. What did you like to do?
Well, that's my cue. I run towards the door.
Okay. Lux?
I fired an arrow off this thing, and I don't even think it noticed, so...
All right.
Is there a way that I can run towards Mason and through outside, or do I have to run around?
You'd have to. They impacted against the wall. The wall itself is still intact. There are some windows you could try to break if you like. That's totally up to you. But there are shuttered windows that are there.
No, I'll run out, and as I'm running out, I'm going to look at Mason and just kind of mouth "I'm sorry" and try to make it towards the door.
See, as you do, he just nods at you. Charlie. As you're about to go, you hear a voice in your head. And it goes, sorry if this is a bad time. It's timing. I think I have some pretty interesting information about that cube. If you want to just come by the shop and we can take a look. You can respond to this message.
Very abruptly, shut the fuck up. Is the response.
Okay. Oh, it's and you get another message. He goes, is it a bad time? Do you need me to come meet you somewhere? I can pick you up, or I guess come by whenever. Just let me know.
Jesus Christ.
Can you imagine a world where people can text you audio anytime and you can't do anything about it?
This can't be stopped.
Thankfully, 6 seconds, so we're limited here. But Jesus,
where am I in relation to like Silas and his dad and everybody in the room?
So you were sitting on the side that'd be closest to the door. So while Lux and Zelmith had the more of the wall side, and they had to like kind of go around, which you were able to do safely. There was no attacks. Luckily, they came your way from what you saw. You're able to just beeline it out. Like you would have to go further into the room to get to Mason if you wanted to.
Okay, but like how far away are they?
They would be like, at this point, because they got pushed back, it'd be 20 feet.
Okay. And Silas is still beside him?
Technically, yes. In the initiative order, Silas hasn't started running yet. You can see he's getting up and looking very conflicted, but seems to be starting to move in the direction of the door.
Okay. Yeah, I will... Oh, how does this work? Shit, it's an action, isn't it?
You don't have enough moves for you, do you?
Well...
Bonus action, Step of the Wind.
That's how that works.
Yeah, alright. I guess I'll do that.
Okay.
And I'll move over. And, 1 second.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'll, Step of the Wind, and I'll go over and, like, Hand of Healing.
Okay.
Mason.
Okay.
So
and you see, like, as he's holding, like, the stump of his arm and the blood's running through his fingers, you see he kind of takes his hand away, and the flesh itself knits together, so he's not bleeding out anymore at the very least. And what do you heal him for?
6.
6, okay. Well, he's not bleeding out.
Yeah. And,
Way better than hot pokers.
yeah, without doing, like, an attack, I'll, like, slap him and tell him to get on his feet and run. And then
Okay.
I'll just use the rest of my movement and I'm at the door.
Okay. All right, no problem. All right, Silas. You see Charlie moving remarkably fast, as she tends to do. Comes up, heals, and starts beelining it. Are you following, or are you staying?
I feel like the slap almost like grabbed me as she goes past.
Yeah.
But as I like sort of stumble back from the slap, you better not die on me.
Never.
I just turn with like one last look and carry on out.
Okay. You see, for those of you, like, even as you're kind of looking over your shoulder or making your way out, you see Mason stands up, puts his arm out to the side, and instead this time you see like a great sword appears in his one good arm. You see as he brings it over in front of him, flames start to boil up the sides of it. And he says, "I'll buy time. Go." And he moves in.
And just
Grub.
Yeah, I just grab my pouch,
Yep.
sling it back up under the robes, and keep my arm outstretched with the wand towards this thing as I'm circling around the room, seeing everyone booking it. And then once I feel like I can, I'm going to just skitter out of there, just dash out.
Okay. And as you all run and you make your way through the house, you're moving like against a tide before too long of people coming from within the house, armed. Different soldiers, guards. You can see some of the, as you're like making your way outside, you can see actual core guards, like the actual town guard, rushing in, having responded to something remarkably fast, faster than they probably should.
Dining room, go. Mason needs your help.
You see they all nod and they all run their way in. And as you guys kind of back out and back away from the house, that's where we're going to go ahead and end it for tonight.
Yeah, think so. I did remove its poison immunity, so.
Yeah, you did.
I mean, that was a disarming encounter.
Yeah. Yeah.
Dad jokes for Dad.
Pour one out for Poppy.
I'm
shouldn't
an
have done
actual
it, Luck.
father, and I hate that.
You shouldn't have spared him.
Wow.
Yeah.
This is
Alrighty.
my one and only chance to get Silas out of here, and I chose the wrong one. No, I'm kidding. Get out of here, Silas.
It is. I very much had that like anime moment, where like where Mason is like just struggling against the vines, and there's just that like, the black silhouette on the white background as the stone sword shatters.
Yeah.
And then it cuts back to full motion as he like has the arm ripped off. Yeah,
That's about time.
Yeah.
Cool.
Not
bad time.
fun.
I
Not
can't imagine a time where getting your arm ripped off is a fun time.
No.
No,
No, it's
I
also
mean, I only have mine cut up, and it's not fun.
So, yeah.
All right. Well, thanks everybody for coming out. Again, we're the casual ones. We stream on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturday mornings, which is our next stream. So if you're around Saturday at 9 a.m. Eastern, if you're crazy like me, we're going to be streaming. It'll be me, Rebecca, and Rowan, who will all be streaming the casual morning show. And then we'll be back next Tuesday with our continuation of our Onshire campaign, and then come back on Thursday. That's where you'll see us as well. We'll be back at 7:30 Eastern again for another episode to see where this all takes us. But otherwise, thank you very much. Have yourselves a fantastic evening. We'll talk to you again soon.
See you guys
Bye,
soon.
everybody.
Bye now.
Bye now.
See ya.
Bye.
Bye-bye.